This diagram shows the 184 aftershocks that have occurred since the main shock on February 27th.
The February earthquake that rattled the South American nation of Chile is the 5th largest earthquake to have happened since the late 1800s.
There's a plate that's in the Pacific Ocean, the Nazca plate, is being subducted underneath the continental plate that makes up South America. And so this plate is, the Nazca plate is moving to the east and diving underneath the plate that Chile is on. That movement causes the earthquakes.
The Center for Earthquake Research and Information at the University of Memphis is sending one of its own team members, Dr. Robert Smalley, down to South America to collect data on the deformation field, or the area that was affected by the earthquake.
I'm going down there to look for the part of that motion that continues into Argentina. So as you cross the Andes, that motion gets smaller and smaller, but it continues, and defining the whole field of deformation is very important.
Dr. Smalley's group, which consists of Ohio State, University of Hawaii, and the University of Memphis, will be working along the Andean front initially, as well as along the Patagonian ice sheet for signals of uplift or subsidence in the mountains.
Dr. Smalley will be using GPS data to map exactly how much of the Earth's crust has moved during the series of earthquakes. And then,
by processing it later on a computer, processing the actually recorded signals from the GPS satellites, then we can get precisions down to about 1 millimeter.
This data is important because the area is so seismically active, it's almost certain more earthquakes will happen in the future.
What we learned from this one can be applied to figuring out what those kind of earthquakes are going to do, and then putting that into building codes, emergency response, disaster planning, things like that.
It's very important to find out as much as we can now before the next big earthquake occurs in that area.
Dr. Smalley's work in South America will increase our knowledge of the Earth as a system and the risks of future catastrophic earthquakes on the west coast of South America. For the University of Memphis, I'm Sarah Blue, Senior Broadcast Journalism major.